They not sitting back and taking our stuff no more. They challenging us. This is the difference that 20 years make in the position that we were in the position we're in. Let's look at it.
In the summer of 1995, China sent a bunch of its troops to the province of Fujian. They then started testing missiles and putting it on TV. They then started running highly publicized combat exercises, very similar to what it would look like to cross this 130-kilometer wide strait to invade the island of Taiwan, a place that China doesn't think is a real country, but rather a part of China itself, a rebellious island province in an unfinished civil war.
Another round of Chinese war games near Taiwan has the U.S. and other nations concerned.
China did all this saber-rattling because Taiwan's president had asked for a visa to visit the United States, and the U.S. Congress voted to give it to him, defying Beijing and undermining China's claim to Taiwan. Oh, and Taiwan was holding their first democratic election.
These are the first 3 elections of a Chinese leader in 5,000 years.
China announced Friday that it would start the new military exercises less than a week before Taiwan's presidential election.
China hated that all of this was happening on this island that they think is theirs, hence all of the military flexing.
Okay, so that was 1995. That's what they did, and let's look at how we responded. And then we're going to look at what they're doing now. And we're going to see that we responded with big dick energy in 95. Let's call it what it is. 95, we showed up with big dick energy. They say, no, we're going to exert our influence over what we think is ours, and look at what we did in 95. And then we're going to look at what we're doing now.
But look who shows up next.
Diplomatic trouble may be brewing again between China and the United States.
It's the U.S. military, and they're sending their biggest show of military force in Asia since the Vietnam War, right here in China's neighborhood. President Bill Clinton sent in all of the U.S.'s best stuff: aircraft carriers, guided missile cruisers, destroyers, powerful weapon systems from the most powerful military on Earth. So all of this concentrated U.S. military power comes into the region and enters right here, through the Strait of Taiwan. It was a response to China and all of its efforts to intimidate Taiwan. The message was very clear. China, we are way more powerful than you, so back off and let Taiwan do its thing. And guess what? It totally worked. China backed down and the US reasserted itself as the global powerhouse, a power that no one can mess with.
Right. So let's talk about it. In 95, China been saying Taiwan belong to us, man. And we gonna do some military exercise. We gonna flex our muscle. We went over there. We put our dick in their lap and said, "Nigga, I wish you would." and what did they do? They backed down. They cowered because we had the power. We had the stability. Our economy was rolling. The world was a different place. People trusted us differently, and they backed down. We showed up and they backed down. But let's look at what's happening right now as we speak every single day with this situation.
Okay, so now let's fast forward to last fall. A lot has changed in this 20 or so years. And China is at it again, flexing on Taiwan. Their favorite way of doing this lately is flying military aircraft into this air border, Taiwan's Air Defense Identification Zone, or ADIZ. An ADIZ is airspace that if you enter, you should identify yourself, or else the nearby country will assume that you're coming to attack them. China has started flying military aircraft over this airspace without asking permission, without identifying themselves. Not just like once or twice, but like dozens of times per day, hundreds of times a month. These are the actual recorded flight paths of Chinese aircraft flying over Taiwan's ADIZ, and then back to China. It's a giant FU to Taiwan, or rather, remember who's boss here.